Let's take a look at this problem. We got 3x over x squared minus 2x minus 3 minus 4 over x squared minus 1. Okay, our first step, factor all the denominators. This first one is the PSD, because we have x squared x, no number in front of our x squared. This one's dots, difference two squares, two terms of minusing it. So let's look at the x squared minus 2x minus 3. PSD, we take the number at the end, ignoring sign, and we create our three columns. Our P columns are products that give us 3. It's prime, so it's easy. Just 1 times 3. Our S column, S for sum. We add these together. 1 plus 3 is 4. D is difference. We subtract smaller from larger. 3 minus 1 is 2. Now, the number we're looking for is a number for our x, which is 2, which is right here. So we're going to use 1 and 3. So I got 1, and I got 3. Now, our larger number in the P column that we're using, which is a 3, is always going to be the same sign as the middle term, which in this problem was negative. Number with circles in difference column, D for different signs. So if this is negative, then this other one's going to be positive. So our first one is 3x over x plus 1, x minus 3. Minus 4 over, now x squared minus 1. We said difference two squares. With two terms, the minus doing it, I try to write it as something squared minus something else squared. Now we look at each individual piece and we ask ourselves what times itself gives us that. X times x gives us x squared, and 1 times 1 gives us 1. Now I'm going to label what's inside the first set of parentheses as F for first, and I'll label what's inside the last set of parentheses as L for last. And our formula is F plus L, F minus L. Now where the F is, we're going to put an X, and where the L is, we'll put in a 1. So this is x plus 1 times x minus 1. So we got x plus 1, x minus 1. Well, we want to figure out our least common denominator and then rewrite each fraction with that new denominator. We'll start with our first factor, x plus 1. Now we're looking for the greatest number of x plus 1s in a single denominator. There's 1 here, there's 1 here. So the greatest number of x plus 1s in a single denominator is 1. Now I go to my next one, x minus 3. And I'm looking for the greatest number of x minus 3s in a single denominator. There's 1 here, there's none here. So the greatest number of x minus 3s is 1. And then I go to x minus 1. I'm looking for the greatest number of x minus 1s in a single denominator. There's none here, there's 1 here. So the greatest number of x minus 1s in a single denominator is 1. So that's our LCD, our least common denominator. And we're going to rewrite each fraction with that new denominator. Now let's see what new items down below. This one had an x plus 1, the x plus 1 is still there. This one had an x minus 3, the x minus 3 is still there. The new item down below is the x minus 1. So whatever you put down here, you have to also put up here. Mathematical rule behind that is whatever you multiply by the bottom, you have to multiply by the top. Over here, we had an x plus 1. That's still there. Here we have an x minus 1. That's still there. The new item downstairs is the x minus 3. So whatever new item we put down here, we have to put up on top. Well, get rid of parentheses up on top. We got 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x over all this. Minus, and then multiply the 4 through, distributive property again. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12 over all this. Well, they both have the same denominator now, so I'll add or subtract the top parts and merge it into a single fraction. Remember, if you have a negative out in front of a fraction, that flips the sign of everything on top. So it's negative in front of this fraction, flips the sign of the 4x and the negative 12. So we're going to have 3x squared minus 3x. The positive 4x becomes a negative 4x. The negative 12 becomes a positive 12. All over x plus 1, x minus 3, and x minus 1. Combine together like terms. Negative 3x, negative 4x is negative 7x plus 12. I don't think that actually factors anymore, but I don't know for sure. If it does factor, it'll be the key number, because we got x squared, x, no x, and there's a number in front of our x squared. So let's try it. So we got 3x squared minus 7x plus 12. The key number, we take our number at the beginning times the number at the end. So 3 times 12 gives us 36. We'll come up with our 3 columns. We got 1 times 36, 2 times 18, 3 times 12, 4 times 9, 6 times 6. Add them. 1 plus 36 is 37, 2 plus 18 is 20, 3 plus 12 is 15, 4 plus 9 is 13, 6 plus 6 is 12. Difference column, subtract them. 36 minus 1 is 35, 18 minus 2 is 16, 12 minus 3 is 9, 9 minus 4 is 5, 6 minus 6 is 0. The number we're looking for is a number in a middle term, which is 7. And I don't see 7 anywhere in the S or D column, which means it doesn't factor, and this would be our answer.